Hello, my name is Buz Craft. I'm the mayor of Vidalia, Louisiana, and I would like to take this moment just to give everyone in the area, the Miss Lou, Vidalia, a state of the town and where we are as a community, where we've been and where we're going. But before I can start that, there's so many people I want to thank, but I can just get a couple squeezed in right now. I want to thank all of our employees and also all of our elected officials around the parish who all work together, all of our state elected officials, even all of our national officials. I want to thank them for the work that they have done and provided for our town through the years that I've been mayor. I'm in the second year of my third term as your mayor, and I want to say this, it's been very rewarding. It's been very trying at times, but I feel like we have the best staff, the best employees around that has helped us become what we are today, which is a thriving, I think, community. It's only got a brighter future as we go forward. And I also want to thank our incredible residents who, even though sometimes they disagree or they may have issues, I want to just thank you for being who you are and the work that you do in this town and the thousands of things you've done to make this community stronger, and not only stronger, but better. And I want to thank you for the work that you've done. You know, but through the years, not only have we had a lot of successes, there have been challenges. I don't want to call them problems. I will call them challenges because I don't feel like there is a problem that exists that we can't overcome or work through, especially if we communicate with one another and are transparent with one another, which I have prided this office on since I have been in office. There's nothing I want to hold from anybody. Any information I want to make sure is public, and anything that we can do, that legally we can do, unless we have to sign a confidentiality agreement. For example, when we're dealing with economic development, we're required to sign confidentiality agreements with different companies so we don't jeopardize a deal they may be working. Outside of that, I feel like everything should be on the table for discussion. One of my favorite speeches of all time was with John F. Kennedy when he gave a speech on transparency and having, journalistic integrity with people. When you see societies or people withhold information, especially elected officials, I think you open the door for people who are trying to get elected who don't want to be transparent to see their shortcomings. And that doesn't give people, the electorate who are out there, information they need to make intelligent and crucial decisions on who they should elect to be in office. So I want to make sure when I first got in office, I wanted to make sure that all of our local media, whether it's radio, newspaper, any journalistic person can come in. I want to hand them the playbook that we're going by, give them anything that they want, and I will do the same thing for our citizens because we here have nothing to hide. I'm not going to say you might always agree with what we're going to do or try to do, but we want to make sure that you're informed and understand the reasoning why we do what we do. So I want to go forward and talk a little bit about some of the accomplishments in the last few years. But before I talk about those accomplishments, I do want to tell you about some of the challenges. Some of the things we do have a problem with, we still have some sections in town that do flood. And I can honestly tell you that we are talking with our engineer, and we've located those situations behind Cross Street, behind Azalea Street, and some other areas. We're on the process of getting a slough pumping station put in, which we hope will take care of that issue. But anywhere else we have low conditions, we want to make sure there's a place on Gregory Street. We want to make sure that we're very proactive in trying to get those areas seen to, engineered, and corrected. So that's one of the issues. DA Big Lane Road has been an issue for me ever since I've been in office. However, the first quarter of this year, we're hoping to have that finished and resolved, which will open up that corridor between 84 and 131 or Highway 15, going to our industrial park and to our port, which, by the way, is right now under construction for the slackwater portion, which is going to add a bunch of opportunity for our industrial development. Now, I do want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things, different segments that are within our responsibility that we need to take care of. Economic development. Boy, we could talk all day on that, but let me tell you my feelings on it. I believe that for these 10 years, we've been setting the table for economic development. Not to turn our back on it through these 10 years, we very aggressively have tried to get economic development. Syra Technologies is here, and I believe they are fixing to be introducing within the first 2 quarters of this next year, phase 3 of their project, which is going to be huge for our community and also for this region. I am disappointed, however, this has maybe been something that people have talked about, was the denim plant, which everybody knows the story on that. But we also know that before this happened, we thought it was a good deal. When people say we did our due diligence, well, you had state agencies, you had federal agencies that helped fund this project, that they were the ones that actually do the due diligence. We were the ones who owned the property. We sold the property and it got it off the tax. It was off the tax rolls. When a municipality owns property, nobody pays taxes on it. There's no benefit to the parish whatsoever because the town doesn't pay taxes. It was a burden on the town. It was costing us money to maintain it and also to put insurance on it. And then after this deal was done, we got money for it. And now it's on the tax rolls, which our parish benefits from, and it's not an expense on the citizens of Vidalia. And the good news is we're going to help find somebody to put it back into that building and provide jobs. That is our goal with the denim plant. Back to the economic development. When I say we're setting the table, a lot of communities want to have economic development, but they don't have the necessary infrastructure or utilities to provide these companies that want to come in or industries that come in and set up home. Guess what? Vidalia is now set up and we are poised to be able to take on any industry. The only box we can't check for any industry right now is rail. With our port coming on, we have the electricity, we have the water, we have the gas, we have the wastewater, and we have the people. I believe we have the workforce development. That could be an issue. However, I believe the education in our schools and also with our trade schools, I believe that we are working now to try to educate and train our young workforce that they can handle and work in any job or field that comes along. And I think that will be a plus for Concordia Parish going forward. Vidalia continues to have the best public safety of any place that I can think of. We have a very robust police department. We have a robust fire department with trained men with good equipment to do the work of the town, to protect you, our citizens, and our visitors, and our businesses, our churches, and our schools. We spare no expense to make sure our community is safe. We have also located cameras all throughout our community to help apprehend or solve any kind of mysteries, unsolved crimes, any burglaries. We're on top of it. You might not hear about it in the news, but I can promise you they're being investigated with diligence and all the effort of the Vidalia PD and working hand in hand with Concordia Parish Sheriff's Department. We want to make sure that when people come to Vidalia and Concordia Parish, they need to leave because this isn't the place to commit crime. We are also proud of our fire department. Our fire department has a fire rating of a 2. A lot of people have heard of the ratings on fire departments, and the lower that rating is, the better your insurance rates, whether you're a business, a church, a school, a home resident. Your rates are lower because of that rating. And we want to make sure that we keep that rating. The best you can get is a 1. The town of Vidalia was a 2. When I got in office, we were a 3.5 or a 4. And we've got it lowered to a 2. And we will strive to do our best to get it to a 1. But I want to thank the police chief and our fire department chief for all the work that they do, keeping their departments the best in public safety. Over these past 10 years, we've also put a significant amount of money and work into our infrastructure. Everybody knows our streets have almost all been overlaid. There's some areas left that we still have to overlay. We know what those are, and we should be getting to those within the next year. That is my plan. We have a diverse system of gas lines, water lines, even electric lines running all over town, that we have some of the best utility crews who are working on those to maintain those and make sure you have the best service and quick response to any problems that you may have that we as citizens rely on every day. I will interject this at this point. I've heard a lot of people say, what can our town or city do for us? We do a lot for you. People just take for granted. When you wake up in the morning and you turn on that light switch, the town of Vidalia is providing that electricity for you to power your home, to run all your appliances, run your TVs, charge your phones, all those things. And when you turn on that water to cook your food or bathe in, we make sure, and that's one of the things we have. Our rating on our water rating is an A+. Out of 105 possible points, our rating is 103. almost unheard of in Louisiana, and that is a state rating that our water plant has. And we're in the process of doubling our water plant, and we've got state money to help do that. We will be providing twice as much water with the same quality that we're providing now. And that is a big plus for citizens and any kind of future growth here with the town. If you've been following Vidalia on our Facebook page or following in the news, you will see that our city finances are strong. We have a very, very good back room. We have a CPA, Ms. Deborah Moak, who does an outstanding job in her department of making sure all of our reports are filed. And there's so much work to do. With a budget that's over $50 million, we couldn't do it without the work and diligence and the accuracy and the promptness that this department does. And our utility department that keeps up with all of this, that we can bill out and make sure you have the best services at the best price, they do an outstanding job. And all of our crews make sure that you are getting the best service that you could possibly get anywhere in the state. As I look back over these 10 years and where we're at now, I would have to say we are progressing as a town, a community, and we're going to continue to progress. We can see other rural communities who are going backwards, and I believe that we are on the right track. We want to continue this track and keep it going forward. And I believe we can keep this going forward because the citizens of Vidalia are can-do people. They have been doing things for years and years and years, and there's countless things that they do well. And I have faith that we're going to continue to progress. With your work, with your support, with your prayers, we only think we're going to get better and better. And so I'm looking forward to the next few years that I'm going to be able to serve as your mayor. Because as mayor, if you're not involved, it doesn't work. So I need you to join with me to help us keep our community clean. When you see that person who might throw trash out, don't put yourself in danger, but maybe, either pick it up or let somebody know, take a picture. The state has a program where if you see somebody littering, you can take a picture of their license plate and you can submit that, and the state will generate a ticket, a littering ticket. I will tell you more about that at a later date, but that is something that is in the state right now. So I would ask you to maybe look into that, and there's no way somebody can come back and look at you personally who turned that in. So you can tell that we do believe in keeping our community safe and clean. As I close with this address, I want to make sure, one of the things I prided myself on is being accessible to the citizens. I put my phone number out there all the time, and I'm going to do it again. I know it's getting redundant, but 601-807-3298. If any citizen has an issue or problem, please call me. Doesn't matter what time of day or night it is, I will take it. If I'm available, I promise you I will take it. My phone's never turned off, and I want to make sure that we continue the progress that we already have enjoyed. Today, we can do this, and we're going to keep on progressing. So state, area, look out. We're coming, we're going to get bigger, and we're going to get better. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm so grateful for you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.